So, hello everyone, MeNoHaxor here, bringing you guys a support commentary on Zyra. I think Zyra's actually a really strong champion in the support role now. I think she got a lot of great buffs to her seed that allowed her to pressure lane even harder than before. Because before this rework on Zyra, she was already known as being kind of like a lane bully and just offering a lot of poke and harassment. And now she's even better because her seed spawns so frequently, and you can get a lot of lane control if you make seeds at the correct times. So this game is going to be a lot more focused on the laning phase and just showing how to use seeds to their fullest potential. So in this lane matchup, I'm with a Twitch Zyra versus a Caitlyn Brand, and it's a little scary because Twitch isn't super strong in the laning phase, and Caitlyn is very strong, and Brand is also pretty strong, but it's pretty much up to me to make sure I can zone out both of them and just offer a lot of lane pressure. So what I'm doing right now is that I'm just standing at the jungle camp because my passive randomly spawns seeds around me. So if I stand, maybe 30 seconds beforehand, I can maybe get a seed inside this area right here, and that's what happens. So then that's really good for me because now I can spawn 2 plants in this direction if I use my Q over here. You can see I use a Q like this, spawn some plants to tank up some of the golems and do some damage. And we also see that the Brand and Caitlyn are coming, so we're going to start to back off a little bit. I'm actually going to look to spawn seeds like this, and you can see just how much damage is going to be applied to this Brand because I have 3 plants that are just hitting this Brand, and I proc Thunderlords, and I'm just going to get a ton of damage off. So even though it looked pretty bad for us, I traded about evenly with the Brand, which is pretty good. And we also got the camp. More specifically, I got the jungle camp, which is going to be really important in a little bit. So I know I'm going to be able to hit levels a little bit faster than them, maybe about 1 creep faster. So I'll keep that in mind as we're trading pretty aggressively. So right now, I'm looking to try to just trade 1-for-1 spells against the Brand. I'm also I can also try to land my Q on the Caitlyn as well because the Q AoE is a lot bigger now. It's in a big rectangle, which is pretty interesting. I think that's a really good shape because it's very, very wide. So a lot of times supports and AD carries are going to be standing like side by side like that. So you can see how if the Caitlyn didn't E back, I would have hit both the Brand and the Caitlyn right there. So it's pretty good for me. You can also see how a bunch of these plants are just randomly spawning everywhere. I would say that if you want the plants to spawn more frequently, you shouldn't be standing in the grass because your passive actually does not proc when you're standing in the bush. So if you are looking to try to get more seeds, you should be standing outside in vision. Otherwise, if you're trying to use the bush for aggressive vision and walking in and out and stuff like that, then you can just be doing that. That's what I'm doing right now because a lot of times when I'm trading against the Brand, I want to try to stand in the bush and then just walk out immediately when I think the Brand is going to try to use a spell without vision. But for the most part, I shouldn't be standing in the bush too often. I think that's one thing I could probably change for the future. We are also pushing a little bit. That's mostly just because whenever I make plants and throw Qs, I'm also kind of hitting the creep wave a little bit, which is not the greatest thing ever. But you can see now, this is where getting the EXP was really important. Because now I'm level 3, and this Rek'Sai is going to gank us right now, and everyone else is level 2. So I do have, my E, W, and Q, which is pretty important for this upcoming fight. So you can see the Rek'Sai's coming in. So what's really good for the me and Twitch is that we're both not really panicking. We know that the Rek'Sai is probably going to jump in on us at some point, but we're just calmly keep on walking. The Twitch does a really nice heal for both me and him, so that way we can get all the way over here. And now the Rek'Sai gets a nice knockup on both of us, and now the Brand's going to send out his W. So I know I'm not actually in the range of W, so I'm not going to keep moving to the left, and I'm just going to hold my ground. And now I know that they're going to jump on the Twitch right now because he's a lower level than me, and he's a much easier target. So I know that I'm free right now to attack whoever I want. And so I want to try to go for the Brand right now because the Brand is probably the easiest person to kill, and the Rek'Sai is a little bit hard because the Rek'Sai is level 3. So I make some plants, and I throw literally everything I have on the Brand, even Ignite. and I'm just gonna keep throwing out autos. And note that throughout this entire time, like, they're still focusing Twitch, right? So I'm not really panicking once again. Like, I know they're not gonna be hitting me right now, so I'm free to just keep auto attacking the brand. And now when they turn on me, when the Twitch is out of range, now I start backing off. But once again, in between autos, I'm just throwing out like as much damage as I can for the Elise to come in. My plant gets one more slow on the brand, and now the Elise goes in for a flash kill, which is pretty good. Now, the next target we want to try to kill is Rek'Sai, because the Rek'Sai is the strongest person now. The Caitlyn can't really do that much, and we're in a much better position to target this person as opposed to the Caitlyn. So now we're looking to keep hitting the Rek'Sai. Once again, I'm like, you know, weaving in movement in between my autos just to reposition myself. You can see now the Elise is pretty much going to commit for the kill. She dies, and now Caitlyn gets double buffs. So now I'm looking to once again keep on fighting. Now that Twitch is level 3 and it's a 2v1, I'm still really low once again. And I think the only mistake I made this fight was that I probably should have been using a health pot a lot earlier, but I didn't. But I guess it's not the biggest deal, because we're still just trading spells like this. Caitlyn does end up killing the Twitch, but I am also really close to killing the Caitlyn. And now I do go for the flash auto right here, and end up getting the kill with one last auto. So that was a really, really long fight, and it was really good that both the Twitch and I did not panic. We kept on walking backwards. It was also really important that I was level 3, because getting the extra plant onto just the extra plants in general when we were fighting just helped out with dealing barely enough damage for us to get the kills. So now that the fight's over and now like I can control the lane, I'm just trying to last hit to the best of my ability, and now I'm just going to recall because the lane is pushing towards us now. So it's really good for the Twitch to get more farm and deny some CS for the Caitlyn. So just going to leave the creep wave like this, and I'm just going to back off. You can see now the wave is building up and pushing towards us now. So when I recall, I went ahead and upgraded to Frostfang and got a Ruby Crystal. So I had about 900 gold, but I decided that this was the best build for me because I know that I'm very far ahead of the brand, and I can keep on poking very aggressively if I upgrade to Frostfang. And plus, I think having a Sightstone won't give me as much lane pressure. So I don't know if you just saw this exchange right here, but what was really interesting here is that this is how like you should be using your plants in really interesting ways. So you can see now, like I know the brand wants to try to trade back at me, like throw a WQ at me. So when I use my roots and start throwing the plants, I literally spawn seeds like right in front of brand. And what that does is that he tries to throw the Q, but the Q ended up hitting one of the plants I created, and then it ended up soaking up the damage for me. So you should definitely be looking to use your plants really aggressively like that to block certain projectiles. Like I think this is also really good against stuff like a Braum Q, like a Karma Q, stuff like that. But it does take a fair amount of practice. So you can see now that I have double buffs, I am looking to play a lot more aggressively since I have a lot of mana regen, and I also have red buff. But the red buff isn't as important because I probably can't really auto a Caitlyn that much. But I am looking to just try to throw out spells as much as possible. If I see the brand is inside the bush, I can always just spawn a seed inside, and that'll at least give me some temporary vision, which is quite nice. Yeah, I would say once again, like probably the only bad thing I'm doing right now is that I am using my Q, and it's sometimes hitting like the range creeps or other creeps inside the wave, which is kind of bad because it's slowly pushing the wave, and we don't want to be pushing up that far. But overall, it hasn't been that bad. Like, we haven't really gotten super punished for it, so it's okay in this context. So you can see, once again, spawn some plants. Like, you can see how much damage my plants are doing to the Caitlyn. Like, right now, like, I don't know if you saw this right here, but just rewinding this. When I made these plants once again, like, I made 3 plants. I made 2 plants right here in the center, and then 1 plant in the bush. And you can see just like how my plants are targeting Caitlyn over here. This 1 plant here is targeting the brand. And you can see like when the brand tries to play really aggressively, he's just going to be tanking like, he tanked at least like 4 or 5 hits from 1 plant. And it already did, maybe 1/7 of his HP, like maybe like 100 damage, which is pretty good. Like for getting a plant for free, like that plant spawned from my passive. So that's really ridiculous how much lane pressure you have with just Zyra. And now like they have to recall now because they're out of pots. They can't really stay in lane anymore. So you can see just how really, really oppressive Zyra can be if you use your plants correctly. And then since we have nothing to do, I know they recalled, but I don't really want it back. I started taking Scuttle, but I also saw the direct side just went in here, so luckily the Elise is also here. So I'm going to try to fight as well. It kind of sucks that I used my root already to try to kill the Scuttle, but you can take jungle camps and Scuttle Crab really, really easily as Zyra, so definitely try to abuse that as much as possible. So the Twitch wanted to recall, so I'll just go ahead and recall as well. No real point in staying, especially since I saw the Rek'Sai walk in here. I was probably going to get dove if I stayed, so better for me to just leave. Now, I do see that, like, we had some vision in our jungle, so we know that they're most likely going to gank mid, so I'm already starting to run mid immediately, ready for the counter gank. Elise is also here for the counter gank as well, which is also pretty good. So now, like, their gank just pretty much fails because the Ryze roots up the Vladimir. The Elise is going to go in for the Rek'Sai now. She gets the kill. The Brain also trades 1-for-1, and then now I am looking to try to go for the flash root. The Ryze goes for the flash root first, so now this is the signal for me to go for the flash root. I maybe didn't need to go for the flash right here, but I wanted to make sure that the Brand couldn't flash away, and I really wanted to make sure I stacked my CC correctly, because it does take a while for my E to go forward, so I just wanted to be extra safe. We secured the kill. And now I saw Karma's mid, and I do have my ult since I just turned 6, so I am looking to try to kill the Karma now, since we have a big wave pushing. Try to go for the roots right here, but she pretty much just flashes the entire combo just to get out, so I guess on one hand I wasted my ult, but on the other hand, if she didn't flash, that would have been a kill 100%, so that's okay. I know throughout this entire time, I try to get some vision in the jungle, put one word here, just to get vision of the Rek'Sai in this area. So here, I do end up landing a really long route on this Caitlyn. Twitch tries to go for the all-in. I'm also trying to go for the all-in here. I proc Thunderlords with some seeds. The Caitlyn goes for the heal, so she does end up living. And now I'm just going to back off. I know I'm not going to die to that ult, so it's okay. But that was a pretty nice trade, I guess. Like, we ended up getting the Caitlyn really low, which is quite good. In terms of what skills to max next, I am looking to max E next. I think you should always max E first because I feel like you only really put points in the queue if you think you need more damage for the laning phase, but I felt like, you know, 2 points was probably going to be enough for me, especially since after I got those kills and that huge exchange bot lane, we were going to be okay. So the Elise one does want to dive right here, so I'm looking to try to take aggro first for my team. It kind of sucks that the Elise missed the cocoon because I think this kill would have been way easier. So I am taking aggro now. There is a dive coming, or there's a TP coming right now. So once again, throughout this entire time, I was just taking as much damage as possible. The Elise rappels up. So y'all just start to leave now because this is really bad because of the TP. And then Brand goes for the ult. That ult was pretty good. It was just bouncing off between the Elise and the Twitch. Got a lot of damage off. Has a really nice flash Q also. Brand is now dead. Or the Brand kills the now dead Twitch. And I just had to run for my life. I couldn't really do much to save him there. Now, I'm just looking to try to stall the wave as much as possible. I'm pretty sure the Vlad can't kill me since he already used his ult and everything. So I'm just looking to try to poke him back. But it's kind of hard because he has so much sustain. Now, this is where it gets kind of weird. So this Vlad is making a very aggressive move, and so is the Brand. So I know they're probably going to dive me. So I'm looking just to try to kill the Vlad right here. And now I'm just going to try to juke to the right, because I know that the Brand is going to try to hit me with a circle right there. So now I'm just running back and forth. I missed the root right here, which kind of sucks. But it doesn't really matter too much, because now the Gragas is going to come in. He's going to basically zen out the Vlad by himself. I'm just looking to stay kind of far back. Try to get some EXP here. You know, bait the Vlad into trying to go for the kill on me. And we end up securing a kill. So, not too bad. It's good to, you know, react a bit quickly. You know, it's pretty easy to predict where the Brand is going to use his W. So, just try to dodge it. I think if I really wanted to, I could have also made a plant in front of the Brand to block his Q. But I think a creep ended up blocking his Q. So, I guess that kind of worked out for me. Anyways, I'm looking towards making spooky ghosts. I think, you know, having ghosts is pretty strong if I want to land some brutes more easily. But I do see the Rek'Sai is here, so I'm looking just to trade pretty aggressively with the Rek'Sai. I lose a fair amount of HP. We both actually lost about the same amount, so it's not the worst trade in the world. I do have some pots, so I can just heal up. So the Twitch wants to fight here, and I'm not really on board for this, and like I'm just really not in a good health. I'm just not really healthy enough. So I go for the root, which just barely misses, which really sucks, because I think if the root landed right there, this would have been a very easy kill. But I'm just gonna try to use all of my burst on them, but doesn't end up working out quite well for us because the Twitch dies too fast. But the Rise does TP in. I'm just looking to try to buy some time. I think this was kind of a poor direction for me to run. I think I started running up this way, when in reality I probably should have been running this way. The reason why I was running up this way was because I wanted to... I knew the Rise was going to get the kill on the Caitlyn over here, so if I run up this way, the Rise can get to the Brand more easily, and then the Rise can hopefully kill the Brand before he kills me. But I wasn't really paying attention, and the Rek'Sai just ended up killing me, because the Rek'Sai and Vlad were already there. So that was kind of a misplay on my part. I think if I ran to the left right here, I probably would have actually survived. No biggie. In the end, I wasn't too bad. Rise somehow ends up getting a kill 1v2. So in the end, that was actually a favorable trade for us. So that's not the worst thing in the world. I think once again, I just misplayed by not landing the root properly, which is kind of the bad thing about Zyra support. If you're not landing your E, then you're gonna be very useless in fights, because even if you land your ult, like the root is really important, especially for maxing it first. So once again, just clearing some traps, making some seeds, just kind of getting as much gold as I can with my Spell Thief, Frostfang. Now I do see the Rise went pretty ham for a kill, so I'm gonna try to support him. I'm running up. I do see the Rise is running to the left right here, so I'm gonna try to help him out. My ult is just coming up right now, so this would have been a perfect time to go for an ult. Now, once again, I missed another route, which really sucks once again. But now my ult is up. Now, I look to try to ult the Vlad right there, but don't end up saving the Rise, unfortunately. And now I'm going to try to flash and just, once again, buy some more time, because I do see Twitch is coming right here. So, looking to just try to dodge as many spells as I can, throw out spells whenever I can. And the Twitch ends up coming from behind, gets a kill on the Vlad, which isn't the worst thing ever. And then... I think that's it. So that wasn't a really good play on my part. It really sucked that my ult just came up like at the very last second, because if my ult came up maybe 3 seconds earlier, that probably would have been a double kill, and I would have saved the Rise if I used my ult like when it was up. But that was a bit unfortunate. I actually think it probably would have been better for me to save my ult until I was walking around here when I was buying time for the Twitch. So I guess that was a little bit too early to use an ult on my part. A bit of a misplay. Anyways, I do see Rek'Sai is here, so I'm looking to try to maintain vision around this area. Like, you know, making a seed, or planting a seed and then turning it into a plant in bushes is really good if you want to maintain bush control against junglers. I know the Rek'Sai is in the dragon right here, so I also see my Elisa's right here, and my Twitch is also here. So I am looking to try to just kind of bait the Rek'Sai into coming in. So I know I'm just kind of like, you know, making seeds and stuff like that, waiting for him to go in. So now like everyone's coming in. So bait kind of successful. I end up throwing the ghost. I get CC'd way too fast. Like I get stunned, which kind of sucks because I really wanted to go for a root, which I couldn't do. But it's not the worst thing ever. We end up getting the Rek'Sai right here, and then the Rise is gonna come from behind. So I think I perhaps baited a little bit too early. I also think maybe I should have rooted preemptively when the Rek'Sai tunneled in, but anyways, they just keep on fighting here. Rise is just gonna go ham and get a couple more kills. But I think the only misplay there was that I had the right idea of baiting. I think it was that I think I should have preemptively thrown out a root, because that would have helped a lot with killing the Rek'Sai a lot faster if the Rek'Sai was rooted in the first place. But that's okay. I'm gonna just establish vision around mid lane now that we're pushing mid, and we're getting a lot more or we're pressuring the map a lot more now that the Rise is very, very strong. They get some damage on the Rek'Sai. Nice root. And now we end up taking mid turret, I believe. So that's good for us. So the Ryze is going to go fairly ham here. But I'm really scared now because the Ryze is Zoom, and now there's 3 of them here. So I'm looking to just try to kite back. I missed the root once again, so that kind of sucks because now the Rek'Sai is going to go in for free. So now this is where I use a really defensive ult, because I position my ult this way, so that way they have to walk, I guess, the maximum amount of distance through my ult to try to get to the Ryze. So the Brand can't really do that, so he just stays out, but he still ends up getting hit by the very edge of it, and so does the Vlad. So that buys a fair amount of time. I'm now splitting directions from the Ryze, and I think this is really important because I don't think I should stay in this direction because the Ryze is really low mana, so there's no way we can actually turn this fight, so we just have to run. And so if I keep running in this direction with the Ryze, they're probably going to kill me first since they know he's out of mana. So I decided to run this opposite direction, so that way I can reposition myself for a root, and so that way I don't actually die as well. So I root the Vlad right here because I think he's the most important person on the enemy team to root, just because he does the most damage out of all of them. So having the Rek'Sai just chase the Ryze like this doesn't really help them at all, because the Ryze can probably just turn and chunk the Rek'Sai. So now the chase is pretty much done against the Ryze, but the Brand ends up going for a really nice flash Q here. There was no way for me to dodge that just because of the direction I was running. I think maybe I could have ran upward, but I don't think I could have reacted fast enough. So good play on his part. And the Ryze ends up turning on the Rek'Sai, like I said before, just because the Brand went on me. So that was kind of nice. So that wasn't actually that bad. I ended up saving the Ryze, and we ended up getting a kill. So not the worst thing ever. Now I'm looking to just walk back to mid, try to get some more vision for us. I'm looking to try to get vision in this upper side, just because I have a feeling that we might Baron really fast, and I wanted vision for us just in case we decide to do go for Baron. And I also see their jungle camp just spawn, so I'm looking to just take the jungle camp, make some seeds to tank up the damage for me, and just keep spamming my spells. Didn't even lose any HP, and I took a camp, so that's how really stupid Zyra is. Even in the support role, she can take jungle camps pretty easily, so that's a really nice benefit. And I'm looking just to clear some more tunnels, get Scuttle Crab as well, because why not? I have nothing to really do right now. I already got some vision for us. No real reason to do anything else. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think if this game were to continue any longer, unfortunately they surrender in like a couple seconds, I think I would have ended up going for Rylai's, because Rylai's on her plant still lets her slow pretty effectively. And after Rylai's, depending on how really far the game is going, I might go for Zeke's, maybe a Liandry's if we need more damage, but in this game, I don't really think we need more damage. But you can see overall, like, Zyra is definitely not a bad champion right now. I think she has a really interesting utility with her plant vision and her lane dominance in the bot lane. So I do think that she is definitely playable in the right matchups. I like her a lot. This game, I think, showed a lot more just like on how strong she can be in the bot lane. I think there weren't really that many team fights where I could have really done much, but you can see how, you know, I can zone out a lot of people with my ult. If you land your root, it's really strong. It's a 2-second root, 1.75 seconds, almost 2 seconds, which is pretty good. And yeah, I think Zyra's a really fun champion. Definitely give her a try if you really like playing these kind of poke supports, and you can definitely do a lot of work with her. So yeah, that's pretty much it.